Hey, what is up all you do-it-yourselfers? My name's Dylan Taylor. This is Dylan's DIY Workshop, and today I'm going to be showing you how I made these knuckle dusters that are completely legal in Canada at least because they're not metal, out of nothing but leather and a little bit of veneer. Okay, so here I have laid out everything that you're going to need to actually make these knuckle dusters right here. I'm going to start off with the obvious, and you're going to need some leather, and I've used real leather, finished on one side and rough on the other side. You can get these at material stores. I got mine at a surplus store, and that's why they're in weird shape like this. The next thing that you're going to need is some kind of thin wood veneer. And this is what's going to give it the strength, and that's kind of what you need here, because if you just glue a bunch of these together, it'll be all mushy and soft, and you won't be able to cut it, and it'll just fall apart. You definitely won't be able to drill a hole through it. So it doesn't really matter whether it's colored or not. This is just dyed yellow maple veneer. It's all that I had. And then you're going to need an adhesive to attach those together, and I have tried wood glue, I have tried white glue, I have also tried epoxy. None of those seem to work, but this contact cement doesn't necessarily have to be LePage brand, but this works extremely well. About $7 for that container there. Another adhesive that we're going to need is this hot stuff. It's basically like super runny, really strong, really fast drying super glue. That's kind of expensive. This is 15 bucks, but it is pretty necessary. I'm sure you could find some other alternatives that are just quick drying, really runny super glues that you could probably use. Then we're also going to need some kind of clamping mechanism. This is what I use. So when I made each of the layers, I had the contact cement on either side, and when I put it together, I just screwed this right down into my workbench, and it basically clamped it super tight to the tabletop. That doesn't work for you, and you don't want to drill holes in your tabletop. Go ahead and grab some C-clamps. You could use those too. I started off by using those before I realized that this was much easier and faster. That's what you're going to need the drill for. You will also possibly, not necessarily, need a drill with a small bit, a brad point bit. That will be used to actually start the holes before you finish them off with a knife. You'll see that in the video though. Not necessary, but very helpful. The only real tool that you really need for this is a knife and, well, some type of clamp. But all the work is going to be done with either a box cutter like this, or very necessary, this tool right here, a small X-Acto blade that is very sharp. Now, building this, making this, I went through 3 of these blades, and I went through 6 of these blades. So make sure you stock up on blades, and you've got the good ones, and you should be fine. So most of the work that is done on this is going to be done with those knives. To cut the outside shape out, just this knife, push down really hard, and when you see me cutting, I've put the point of the knife in the table, basically like that, and I'm rocking back and forth while pulling this sideways, making sure to keep my hand away from the blade and not pushing towards the blade, rather pulling away from the blade. Then this knife, when I used it, I was just going back and forth like a sawing action, trying not to cut too deep, taking off too much each pass. In the end, you will see me finishing the edges of the knuckle dusters and also the insides of the holes with this fast runny glue. It basically made the outside edge solid, whereas if I hadn't have done that, the layers start to kind of get soft and start to fray at the edges. Something like that is really necessary, something that'll actually seep into the leather and the veneer, because the rest of it's fairly solid structurally, but the edges just aren't until it has something like that on it. Also, before I moved to the next hole, I made sure that the inside of the hole was covered, because were it not, once I got to this point right here where it got really thin, it starts to get a little mushy, and you don't want that falling apart on you, because then you really have nothing to go with. So the last thing is just some sandpaper, because that's what you're going to need to finish the edges. Another option if you don't like, and the last option if you don't like this finish that I have on it, which is no finish at all. I like the bare leather feel. That's the whole point. It's supposed to be made out of leather, and I'm just trying to make different alternatives. If you haven't already seen my wooden one that is weighted with a heavy brass slug, you could check that video out. There will be a link right up here. So if you want to put another finish on it, you could use shellac, you could use mineral oil, you could use epoxy. If you really want to, you could go all out. That is up to you guys. I have just left mine raw material. Get into the video, guys. I hope you enjoy the next little cinematic edit of me actually building it, and I will catch you guys at the end of the video. And while you guys are watching that, I would like to just go ahead and say thank you to my Patreon supporters for supporting everything that I do, whether it's on this channel or my daily video channel that is titled Dylan Taylor. You guys are what is keeping this going. It's incredible. And a special thank you to the top tier Patreon supporters, Randy, Robin Bird, and Mike Maxwell. You guys are absolutely incredible. If anyone else wants to help support my channel, there will be a Patreon link up in the top corner and also in the description if that doesn't pop up for you. Okay, so each time I finish a finger hole, I'm coating the inside of the layers of the leather because it's still soft. I'm coating that with this stuff called hot stuff. It's like a really super runny super glue, and it just absorbs right into the leather and the veneer because they're both so porous, and it becomes rock solid, the solid edge, kind of like almost like how solid the whole thing is. And then I can start on the next hole, and that allows me to get this very thin piece without the leather falling apart. Alright, and there we have it, guys. That is how I made this set of leather knuckle dusters. I think they came out great. They're fairly lightweight and they're sturdy as heck. I think they look really cool too. Again, if you guys want to see the video where I made really heavy weighted, really strong maple, well, wood knuckle dusters, there will be a link in the description of the video as well. So that is going to be it for this video, guys. I'd like to thank you all for watching and maybe ask you guys if you would comment down below what you want me to make next. I'm open to suggest, and I'm pretty well open to make just about anything. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please share this video with a friend. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, give it a big old thumbs up. See you guys all the next time. Peace out.